right, hold on. Let me just go check if they're on.
Okay. Hi, everybody. This is Noah. I'm here. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram, and I'm on Twitter, on all social media together to give you updates on what's happening in Israel right now. So just so we're clear, this is an unprecedented situation that had never happened before. At 6:30 in the morning on a Saturday on a holiday, Israelis were woken up to a coordinated attack by Hamas terrorists. The first thing that they experienced were rockets. So thousands and thousands of rockets. But what became very clear very quickly is that this was nothing but a disguise to hide a ground operation. Infiltration of Hamas terrorists into Israel by land, by air, and by sea. They used trucks in order to drive into Israel. They broke the border with Gaza. They used glides in order to fly into Israel, and they used boats in order to try and get into Israel by sea. Hundreds and hundreds of Hamas terrorists armed invaded Israeli citizen towns. Now, what you need to understand that this is not military to military. These Hamas terrorists have invaded towns, cities, and kibbutzim in the south of the country. They broke into homes and took women, children, and the elderly out of their beds while they were asleep. There are currently reports of over 250 Israelis slaughtered, over 5,000 rockets and missiles that have landed on Israel, and over 1,500 wounded. But we are hearing reports that this is just the tip of the iceberg, so it's actually not. It's actually, the numbers are much higher than this. This is nothing short of a massacre. This is nothing short of a massacre. This is nothing short of an assault on Israel. What we have been saying for a very long time, and I've been doing this for a very long time. I've been an Israel activist and a Jewish activist for the better part of the last 15 years. And what we've been saying for a very long time is this is the doctrine that we're dealing with here. I am a liberal Hollywood person that has been living in Los Angeles for many, many years. I come from a very liberal Israeli family. And it's been a shock to me to find out when I moved to America that people don't understand that some people actually don't have the same culture and values that we do. We've been saying this for years. Hamas is not interested in two-state solution. Hamas is not interested in any normality in the region. Hamas is not interested with peace with Israel. What Hamas is interested in is slaughtering as many Jews as possible and wiping Israel off the face of the earth. And that is what they have been doing today. Many people are slaughtered. There are images that are heartbreaking that we're editing some of them right now of Hamas terrorists taken hostages. And just imagine the worst thing that can happen to a prisoner of, well, it's not a war, but a prisoner who is hostage by a terrorist organization. Just imagine that, and try to find the images of the young women, children, ages 5, ages 16, ages 12, that are being held by Hamas terrorists right now in Gaza. They're being paraded in the streets of Gaza, paraded like a bunch of animals, parading them in the streets of Gaza as we speak. All of this happening started at 6:30 in the morning, Israel time. It is now 11:30 at night, Israel time. So it's been happening for over 12 hours. All of this has been going on under rockets and missiles that have been fired from Gaza into Israel. So over 5,000 rockets and missiles all the way through the south of the country, the middle of the country, into Tel Aviv, into Jerusalem. They have fired rockets into Jerusalem. All of this is under the blood libel and the lie that Israel is taking over Oct.7 and not allowing for Muslims to worship at Oct.7. This is a lie that has been perpetuated by Hamas and by the Islamic Jihad for years. You have to understand, this is what we've been saying for so long. We've been dealing with fake news. We've been dealing with nothing but a religious war by people that don't have the same values that you do. They don't. They don't. So I would have many people say to me every now and then, be like, oh, every Palestinian just want to have a, just want to live peacefully. Every Palestinian just want to have a great life and live peacefully and have their children live peacefully. That is not the case. That is not true. That is not true. And it's a very difficult reality for somebody who is a liberal to understand and to own. So this is not true. Some cultures are not like yours. Some cultures are not like yours. And this is what's happening right now. Hamas used bulldozers and broke the border into Israel and sent over dozens and dozens of trucks full of terrorists on them and motorcycles into Israel. Now, they have targeted a rave in Israel as well. So obviously this has been going on for a very long time, been planned for a very long time. And yes, there's going to be a very strong investigation on how this happened and how the Israeli intelligence did not pick up on this. But right now we have to take care of the situation. There was a rave that was happening at the south of the country. 3,000 young adults partying in Israel. Hamas terrorists have rode into that rave and started shooting at the partygoers, and they took hostages a few of the partygoers. We are getting reports here of many, many young adults that have died in that rave and that have taken, there's a video online which I hope you've seen of a couple, a young couple and a woman, another girl named Noah, as she is taken by Hamas terrorists to Gaza. Yep.
If anybody has information on missing people, tell them that there's a Facebook group. So go onto Facebook. They're trying to gather anyone who's safe. Send it to anybody who doesn't know.
I'm here with Shani Suissa, and she's sitting next to me. If anybody has information about missing people that have been found, there are Facebook groups collecting names and information on missing people. I'm going to try and get some people on. If you speak English and you are in Israel right now, or in the north, or in the south. I said slaughtered. I didn't say died. I said slaughtered. This is over 250 Israelis that are confirmed slaughtered. That's what's happening right now. It's not dead. There's no equivocation as well. This is not how many people are dying on the other side. A lot of people are going to be dying on the other side. That's just the reality of this. Okay, so I'm watching the Israeli news on the, let's hang on a second. There have been a few people that have been kidnapped into Gaza, but Israel usually does everything that it can to bring everybody back. We have been dealing with 1, 2, 3 people in recent years. There are reports of dozens and dozens of Israeli kidnapped into Gaza. Kids, elderly, women, babies, young babies. So if you have any information on missing people, go on Facebook groups and share that information. If you are in Israel and you speak English, I want to bring you onto the live if you can. Shani, are we going to put them on Instagram or on?
I'm reaching out to a few people.
Okay.
Anybody's requested from here.
Yeah, there are a bunch of people requesting. I'm going to give a recap in a second.
Okay, let's look. It's hard to tell who is who, but do you recognize any of these people as friends?
I don't. Text Michael and see if he wants to come up.
I messaged him.
Okay.
We can just add somebody.
Should we request him?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we can do that actually, by the way.
Yeah. Sorry guys, thank you.
Thank you for your patience.
Yeah. So I'm going to just tell you in the meantime, while we're doing that all throughout the day I've been following the news. There was a phone call of a woman who was called from one of the towns in the south, and she had her 2 kids, 16 and 14-year-old, at a sleepover at a friend's house in another house. She spoke to them last night, said goodnight, woke up this morning to the sirens and the bombs that have surprised Israel. She called her kids, and they told her that they're hearing Hamas terrorists inside their home. That's my book that just fell. Oy. She spoke to them, and she heard the terrorists getting into their house. She said, stay safe, hide. They said, we can't hide. They just walked in the room, and then the call got disconnected, and she hasn't heard from her kids since the morning. So 14-year-old and a 16-year-old that have been kidnapped by Hamas terrorists into Gaza. What we have been saying for many, many years is that we're not dealing with people who want peace. We're not dealing with people who want a two-state solution. We're dealing with animals. And this is exactly what they're doing right now. This is not an attack on a military base. This is not an attack on, this is not in retaliation to anything. Because remember, Gaza is not under Israeli control. I'm going to say that again. Gaza is not under Israeli control. Israel pulled out of Gaza unilaterally. Thank you. In 2006. Just going to take Ari away from this.
Good idea.
Just because Israel pulled out of Gaza in 2006. Israel has not been into Gaza. Israel pulled out of Gaza and has received Hamas in return, and rockets launched at her consistently and constantly. And that's what we've been dealing with. And I've been doing this work for a very long time, and it's almost like speaking to a wall, because we're dealing with still.
There's somebody that's in Rehovot who speaks English. That's how she can come on.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring her on.
Yeah.
Shira.
Yeah, Shira, we're gonna bring you on.
Let's see. Okay, Shira.
Oh, Shirel.
Yeah. Let's see if she requested. Shirel, I don't see that you requested. Can you request, then we'll bring you up?
Yeah, request to come up.
But she said she's also in Israel and speaks English. Want to bring her
All
up?
right. Is this okay? It's not. It needs to be a little bit like this, but then this.
I think it's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry about the technical issues, everyone.
There we go. Because see, now you sent her, so it's okay.
Yeah. Okay. Hi. What's your name?
Meadow.
Meadow. Where are you?
I'm in Israel in Ramat HaSharon.
Ramat HaSharon. And how are you doing? How did you wake up this morning?
Pretty scared. I had an alarm, I think pretty far away. Then I called my mother saying, I think there's an alarm. And then I woke up, freaking out, and then what I'm supposed to do, because I don't have like a safe place near me. So ever since, I've been trying to follow everything that's been going on. It's crazy.
Have you been staying in all day?
Yeah,
Yep.
I had a friend who has been found in her home, and now she's safe. So
She's been what?
she was missing, and she's been
Oh.
found finally. So it's better.
Oof. Okay. Do you have anybody in the south?
I have a friend in the IDF who's been called up, and it's pretty scary. Came from them.
So you have to understand the entire country is under siege by terrorists, basically. So just imagine you're lying at home in your bed in Chicago or in LA or in New York or in Bakersfield, or it doesn't matter where. You're lying in bed quietly, or in Sydney or in Melbourne or in Guatemala or wherever you're at, and you're being woken up by terrorists that are coming to get you and knocking on your door, armed and coming to get you. Thank you. So oh shit. All right. I was just like looking for names. Thank you so much. Stay safe. Okay. Stay indoors. Stay safe. Thank you.
Okay, let's see if she's here.
All right. Yeah, sure. Shirel, we're getting you up.
She's very slow.
It is slow, isn't it? That's what's been happening since yesterday. All right. Shirel.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm relatively okay.
Where are you?
It's been a rough day. I'm in Rehovot. Rehovot is more in the center, but we've also had a few terrifying hours. We don't have a shelter here in my apartment, so I was at the staircase with my dog and all the neighbors together. And I just want to say, Noah, thank you so much for what you do. I've been following you for so long. And I'm really honored that you asked me to be here. We're seeing the reports and the footage and images from the South and what's happening there. I do have people that I know who are there who were sieged in their homes.
You do? You know
throughout
people
the
that
day.
are sieged, that are under siege right now?
Yeah.
When we say under
I
siege,
know
we mean
people
terrorists, we mean murderous terrorists that are out
terrorists
for blood.
outside their homes trying to break in their fucking homes. Really, not kidding. The terrifying feeling of people you know that are experiencing this is something that I cannot even describe in words. They are now luckily waiting for rescue.
Dude, how many
And
hours have they been under siege without a rescue?
since 6:30 a.m. It's now 11:30 p.m.
So they've been under siege. They've been held hostage since 6:30 a.m.
Yes.
Are they still alive?
Yes, thankfully, yes. Traumatized, obviously, but thankfully the people I know are still alive. Many people I know, many friends of mine are out there, were called to duty.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people who are there as well. And that's it. And it's like we woke up to a brand new world. People are comparing this day in Israel to America's 9/11. I
Yeah,
think
it is. It's
they're
America's
comparing
9/11. It's America's Pearl Harbor. This is what we're dealing with. This
totally,
is Israel's Pearl Harbor and Israel's 9/11. This is what we're dealing with. This is what we're dealing
completely,
with here.
completely. And it's just, I'm sorry. I just hope this situation will end soon. I hope all the people who were kidnapped and are being held hostage, including all the children, the young adults, as you spoke about, the mothers and kids. There was also a mother with a 2- and 4-year-old who were kidnapped.
Yeah.
They were seen in
There was a
videos.
mother with a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old that were
Yeah,
kidnapped into Gaza by Hamas. A mother with a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old.
yeah, yeah. They were seen in one of the videos, and so everyone is now posting and sharing their footage. So I hope those people can be brought back alive and well, at least physically.
Yeah.
Terrifying, terrifying. I cannot even explain, and I've been through many, intifadas and stuff like that, but it's nothing anyone ever imagined will happen right now, and anyone can ever explain
No, this is
what's
not,
going
this is
on.
never, Israel's never going to be the same. This is never going to be the same.
Completely, completely. That's it. And so now we're waiting. I'm by my phone in the WhatsApp group and Telegram group and Instagram all day long, trying to do cross-reference between people who are missing and lists and everything of that sort. And we do have a very, very strong and unique people. I do have to agree with that.
We do.
The amount of people who are trying to help each other right now in this situation is overwhelming.
We do.
And it's totally respected. And I send everyone best wishes and good luck and stay safe.
Yeah.
Please
Thank
stay
you.
safe.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You stay safe as well. Stay indoors.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you. All right.
There is another woman.
How do we get out? Okay. When do I give another update? Should I give another update here? I'm sorry, guys. This is Nativ Asara, 15 more citizens murdered. This is a targeted attack against civilians. Like this is what this is.
This is actually insane.
Seriously? That's what they're sending to me right now? Look at this. What the hell? People are insane. Okay. Do we get anybody else?
There's another girl. Hold on.
Okay, so I'll give you another update or a recap. So this morning at 6:30 in the morning, Israel was woken up to an unprecedented and coordinated attack by Hamas terrorists. They have broken the border between Hamas and Israel, between Gaza and Israel. They drove trucks and they used boats and glides in order to attack Israel by land, air, and sea. Hundreds and hundreds of terrorists have infiltrated Israel and started walking in cities and towns and kibbutzim from door to door, looking for Israelis to murder, looking for Jews to slaughter. That is what has been happening in Israel since 6:30 in the morning. It is now almost midnight in Israel right now. Over 250 confirmed dead, but there are more. We're seeing reports that there are many, many more. Hamas had taken over, occupied. Yeah, I'm just looking at this. Yeah, it's the Palestinian military. We should stop calling it Hamas. The Palestinian military, Hamas, occupied a few towns in the north, in the south of the city, and was going door to door and slaughtering people. We have been getting calls, and the news have been getting calls from citizens that are under siege, basically under siege in their homes. Good. And looking
No,
at
a
the
lot of people
numbers.
are asking what they can do to help from abroad. Like, what can people do right now?
That's a great question. What can they do? Magen David Adom and United Hatzalah. Magen David Adom and United Hatzalah need funding. Magen David Adom and United Hatzalah. Can you?
Wait, can you actually?
Yeah, I'm going to say that and put it on the stories, and you'll find the link.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Hi, everybody. If you want to find a way to help from abroad, Magen David Adom and United Hatzalah need funding. They need money. So we're going to put the link up, and please log in and donate as much as you can. Thank you.
Good.
Okay. So they're confirming 250 slaughtered and 1,500 wounded, but there are situations that are unfolding right now. Everybody has been drafted into reserve. The IDF obviously acknowledged this is a war. Bibi has acknowledged this is a war, and Biden as well. President Biden gave a statement about an hour ago. It's unequivocally supportive of Israel and supportive of Israel's right to defend itself. If people can't stand by Israel now, they should be silent for good, is the answer. Really, be silent for good. There's no excusing this. And that's what we've been saying for a very, very long time. We've been saying that those people are not interested in safety and security. They're not interested in the Jews living in their ancestral land at all, whatsoever. And there's no talking to them. There's just no talking to Hamas. There's no trying to reach a middle ground. There's no trying to, let's figure out what they want. What they want is to slaughter Jews. What Hamas wants is to slaughter Jews. That's what they want. And that is sadly, tragically, what they have been doing all day today. This is an unprecedented situation. This is the Israeli equivalent of Pearl Harbor, the Israeli equivalent of 9/11. This is what's happening. This is Israel's never going to be the same. Hopefully the world is never going to be the same. And I hope the world will come to the aid of Israel, because this is absolutely horrific. I just wonder, I really do wonder, where are you, Bella Hadid, right now? Really, where's Bella Hadid?
She is never going to be found.
Where's Bella Hadid right now? In Paris Fashion Week?
Ilona, Mark,
I can't tweet at her because she blocked me. I can't tag. No, she did. The entire Hadid family blocked me. I wonder why. And
I have a friend who DMs her all the time.
Bella?
Like rants. Like, how could you do this? I mean, she never.
Does she answer? No, of course. Why would she answer? No, but Muhammad Hadid actually texted me one time, and then he just disappeared, and then they all blocked me. So I just wonder where all these people that are so fierce to attack Israel when Israel tries to defend itself. Let me say this again. Israel is the single consistent democracy in the entire Middle East. Israel wants peace. This has been true since before Israel's inception, and it is true today. And the only people that don't understand it are the social justice keyboard activists in America. Literally, everybody in the region, in the Middle East, actually understands that Hamas is the big bad wolf. By the way, every single thing that you're seeing today, every single thing, every single Israeli Jewish blood is on the hands of the Iranian regime. This is all sponsored by Iran. This is all coordinated by Iran. This is all under Iran influence. This is what this is. Iran is the bad actor in the region. Iran is the one that is sponsoring this entire operation. And sadly, they did well. Sadly, they did well. So again, my name is, I'm sorry about this. All right. This is, okay. Should we try and text? All right, let me check my text for a second.
There is another girl that can come up as well.
What's her name? Does she speak English?
Yeah, Lital.
Okay. Lital.
I told her to request a bit ago. I don't know if she did. Let me see.
Is she in Israel?
Yeah, she's in
Okay.
Israel, speaks English.
Please ask to come up on Instagram Live only if you are in Israel and can speak in English. So, or you need help. If you need help, let me know.
I don't see her here actually.
When I did the live in the Israel morning at night in LA, I had dozens and dozens of people that were asking for help. So yeah, this is still, there's still, all right, the terrorists are blockading inside an apartment in Ofakim for a few hours. So there are hostage situations that are still unfolding in Israel. Hostage situations that are still unfolding in Israel. So people are still being held hostage by Hamas terrorists. Over 12 hours after this event had started, 1,500 wounded, over 250 slaughtered. We are talking Israeli men, women, and children. This is what Hamas, this is what the terrorists want. This is what they always wanted. And sadly, their plan worked today. So they will be defeated, but this is going to take long, and this is not going to be easy. This is not going to be easy.
A lot of people are asking about the dynamic of like Saudi and how that impacted.
It's a great question. All right, so the dynamic between Saudi Arabia. So I don't know if you know this, but the Middle East has actually been transforming in recent years. So the Abraham Accord between Israel and the Gulf states has been extraordinarily successful. This is a warm peace with tourists and economic ties. In recent months, we've been hearing murmurs and rumors about a possible deal between Israel and Saudi Arabia that is being negotiated by the Americans. Obviously, the Americans want this, Saudi Arabia wants this, and Israel wants this a lot. This would change the Middle East completely, the dynamic completely, because this will effectively end the Israeli-Arab conflict on a larger scale and would alienate Iran around the region, because everybody is obviously against Iran and their attempt to take over the region. This has been kind of coming up in recent weeks. Every time discussions of peace come up, terrorist factions within the Palestinian people, every single time there's been discussions of peace. This is true for the Oslo Accord as well. This is exactly what happened at the times of the Oslo Accord. Every time there is discussion of peace, extremists Palestinians are sabotaging it with Israeli blood. This has happened in the Oslo Accord when all of a sudden Hamas terrorists started infiltrating, coming across the border and blowing Israeli buses in the middle of the streets. I was living there at the time, and this would happen next to my house on a regular basis. This is what's happening right now. They're hearing that there's a possibility of peace, and they are sabotaging it now. The Palestinian Authority needs to stop engaging in rejectionism. The Palestinians have been engaging in rejectionism for over 100 years. It's literally been their stance throughout the entire time. Israel had offered Palestinians a state dozens of times from 1922 onwards, from the first discussions onwards, all throughout 48, 47, 2002, up until recently, up until the deal of the century. And the Palestinians consistently say no. They say no because they don't want to live side by side with Israel. They want from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. That is what they're chanting. That is also what Bella Hadid has been chanting in demonstrations around New York City. So just so we're clear, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free as a call to ethnically cleanse the Jews from their ancestral land, because the river is the Jordan River and the sea is the Mediterranean Sea, and this is where Israel exists. So that is what they want, and that is what they're after. And the West better start acknowledging that this is what's happening, because we've been out here alone for years discussing this, talking about this, fighting against this. I've been doing this for so many years, and people are like, no, it's Israel this, Israel that. I'm like, fine, Israel's not perfect. You know why? Because no country is perfect. But there's a not perfect country and a murderous, theocratic, insane ideology on the other side that you can't rationale with, that you can't have a conversation with, that you can't try to negotiate, that does not want the children to live peacefully. They just not. And again, of course, I'm talking about Hamas, and I'm talking about the extremists. But this is what's happening every time there's a possibility of peace, because they are not after peace. So again, let me get back to what's happening right now. Okay? Because this is more important. We're not going to talk about anything political right now because it's irrelevant. There's a situation that's unfolding in Israel right now. It's been over 12 hours. It is almost midnight in Israel. This had started at 6:30 in the morning on a Saturday, on a holiday. Israel was woken up to an unprecedented coordinated attack by Hamas terrorists. So they masquerade their invasion with thousands and thousands, over 5,000 rockets and missiles that were fired into Israel, all over Israel. So the south, the middle of the country, Gush Dan, which is around Tel Aviv, and also Jerusalem. Now look at the irony. The guys, the blood libel that Hamas is using to justify this murderous attack against children, women, and the elderly is that Al-Aqsa is in danger. Al-Aqsa is the third holiest place for the Muslim people. It's in Jerusalem. Israel provides freedom of religion for every single religion and provides the availability to worship at Al-Aqsa freely and always has done so. So A, Hamas is lying obviously about that, but B, what they do, ironically, is launch missiles into Jerusalem. So they actually were firing missiles into Jerusalem while saying that the Israelis are not allowing them to worship and while saying they're liberating Al-Aqsa. Here's the other thing to remember. Mohammed Def, who is one of the leaders of Hamas, is calling on the entire regional allyship. So Hezbollah, the Islamic Jihad, the Arab Israelis that have, even though they have full rights in Israel and are equal citizens, the Arab Israelis that are living within Israel and Iran, calling on them to join the fight to quote unquote liberate Al-Aqsa. Join the fight to liberate Al-Aqsa. What he is saying, what Hamas is saying, is that this is a war that they have waged against Israel in order to destroy Israel. Liberating Al-Aqsa, Al-Aqsa is in Jerusalem. That is what they're after. As of right now, we have not heard reports of anybody else joining in. I know that there were messages from the Israeli government to the Lebanese government and Hezbollah to not dare join in the fight. But we'll see what happens. So this is obviously a coordinated attack. Iran, by the way, congratulated Hamas on this. Iran, a couple of weeks ago, had a parade and wrote in Hebrew on the parade. You can see it online. Israel needs to be erased. So so they were pretty clear on what it is that they want to do. So this is where we're at right now. If you have any other good questions, and by the way, I'm still seeing Palestinian flags sometimes on my feed, which is insane, just so you know. I mean, this is insane. I'm pro-Israeli and I'm also pro-Palestinian, but not pro any of this shit. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy.
Do you want to bring another person up?
Yeah, sure.
There's a guy, Sean, he's with another English speaker as well.
Okay.
Let's see here. Sean of the Earth.
Is he in Israel?
Yeah, in Israel and Tel Aviv, and has family in the south. People just got drafted.
Yeah. Yep. Maya. Hi.
Hi, Noah.
How you doing?
Marley.
Hi.
What are your names?
Sorry?
What are your names?
I'm Sean.
I'm Marley.
And where are you?
We're in Tel Aviv. We're in Florentine.
Yeah.
We've been awake since 6:30 a.m., starting the day with sirens, running in and out of the makeshift shelters, because not all buildings here have shelters, so sometimes you have to run to buildings nearby.
Yeah, of course.
There was a missile hit in Florentine, like a few streets away from our homes. The streets are literally empty. It looks like Corona times. There's nobody
Sure.
out in the streets.
Sure. Do you have people in the South? Do you have people that get drafted?
Yeah, my brother was drafted.
How old is
I'm
he?
hoping he's 27. I would say like 70% of our male friends have been drafted. We don't really know where they are. We have a friend who has a newborn baby who's in the South. Her husband was drafted. He's being drafted tomorrow. She's alone in the South with a newborn baby, like a few weeks old.
Oh, Seth Oster. Hi, Seth.
So
Is she where is she in the South? Do you know?
in Chatzav.
Okay. Is there anything happening in that yishuv?
They didn't have electricity for most of the day.
How
They
does
were
Gaza
locked
still
inside.
have electricity? Can you explain that to me?
Yeah.
No idea.
I have no idea. I don't know. But
But they didn't have electricity, and they were locked inside the homes. They were hearing shooting all day.
Are they hearing the terrorists?
Yeah, like fights between terrorists and civilians, or soldiers as well. Her husband's uncle's husband's uncle. He got killed, and his Thai caretaker got taken hostage.
No.
And it's yeah.
Yeah, they don't discriminate. They don't discriminate. They're, oh my God, the video of the girl. I'm taking away.
Yeah.
No, the one that we've, Noah, the one that we've seen. Yeah. Okay. So just keep us updated and stay safe. Don't go anywhere. You sound like you're from America. Do you have anything to say to American viewers? Where are you from? Are you from here or?
I was born here and grew up abroad. But Marley's American. Do you have anything to say?
Do you have anything you want to say to American viewers right now or international viewers?
Yeah, I think just to keep just spreading the word.
Just spreading the word.
Yeah. Like this is not just regular day to day. This is that no one should go through this on either side, but this shouldn't be acceptable. We shouldn't be going through this.
Of course not. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Noah. Bye.
Bye. This is crazy. So they're telling me to talk about the kidnapped again. How do I get off? How do I disconnect? Oh, they have to exit? Yeah. Can you guys exit?
Yeah, ladies, you guys have to exit.
Oh, hi, not so skinny. Not so fat. How you doing? Do you want to come up? I'm asking you to come up.
Yeah, perfect.
No.
Hold on.
Where is she?
Oh, you can add people as a moderator. Hold on. Do it from here. Wait, sorry. From here. Not. So.
I'm gonna ask you up, babe.
Why did that? Here we go. Okay, and then also I realized I can do this. Now I can delete all these fucking comments.
Don't delete them. I want people to see them. What, the bad ones?
Yeah.
No, I always keep the bad ones. No, because I believe that you guys need to watch, girls. You guys need to see, and girls, you have to see the bad comments that I'm getting. I never delete terrible comments from any of my feeds because I post Shabbat Shalom and I get back, die you Zionist bitch. Because again, we're not dealing with normal people here. We're dealing with insane people. So that's just, I don't delete them. I don't delete them because you have to see this. I mean, for now, today, to be supporting, to not be supporting Israel right now is to be a monster. That's basically what I have to do. So I have to say. So what's that? Eric is in there. Yeah. Hi, Eric. Do you want to come up? Let's try to get Eric up.
Yeah. Come up?
Yeah, Eric, I want to get you up.
You should do it from this guy.
Yeah. Eric, I'm inviting you up. I've just invited you up, Eric. If you get this, join me. You're not in Israel, but you're here. Okay. I was asked to talk about the kidnapped. Hundreds and hundreds of terrorists, Hamas terrorists, have invaded Gaza, invaded Israel this morning. Hundreds and hundreds of them, armed terrorists that are practicing Sharia law, a murderous doctrine that is the embodiment of rape culture, that have invaded Israel and have taken over hostages into Gaza. And when I say taken over hostages into Gaza, I'm not just talking about soldiers, and some soldiers have been taken as well. I'm talking about young men, women, and children, the elderly, a demented woman in her probably 80s or 90s that they posted with holding an M16 and a Hamas terrorist next to her. Hey, check out me. With this demented old lady that I've taken into Gaza. So this is what's happening. There are reports of dozens and dozens of kidnapped into Gaza. I heard number. No, yeah. Thank you, Seth. I'm seeing you. Eric? No, call RJ. Call RJ. So we're talking about a terrorist organization that have taken over towns and cities. So imagine you wake up in the morning in your city of Detroit and you're woken up to a Hamas terrorist at your door, pointing a gun at you and taking you over to Gaza and parading you on the streets like a freaking animal. And that's what Israel has been dealing with right now. Now, I'm seeing some reports and some headlines that are saying stuff like in the international media that are saying stuff like Israel at war, Israel attacks Gaza, that are trying to equivocate between what's happening right now and Israeli actions. This is extraordinarily uncalled for right now. Right now, there are no two ways about it. Israel is under assault by a terrorist organization. That's what's happening. There's no other way. There's no another point of view to this. Okay? If you ever followed me or read any of my stuff, you know that I am a liberal. I'm a LA-based Israeli and Jewish activist and author with a history in the entertainment industry. So I can always see the other side. Not today. Not today. I froze on Facebook.
Oh, you did?
Uh-huh. Not today. There's no equivocation today at all. We're still on. Eric didn't come up. Eric, did you come up?
No.
What's going on?
Oh. Why are you frozen?
I don't know. I wonder if I'm still on. Am I still on? No.
Let me verify if you're frozen from this end.
Okay. We're not sure if we're frozen. Can you send us a?
You're active on Facebook. You're fine.
I'm active on Facebook. That's so interesting. So I'm just frozen on the screen.
Yeah.
Okay. So now they're saying at least 250 slaughtered. There are reports of many, many more. And there are dozens and dozens of kidnapped into Gaza. There was a photo that was published today of a young woman and two children, ages 2 and 4, that were kidnapped into Gaza. There was a report of 2 children, ages 12 and 16, that were kidnapped into Gaza. There were photos of elderly women that have been kidnapped into Gaza, and Hamas parading them around, proud of attacking civilians. Now, whatever it is that you think about Israel, whatever it is that you think about the Israeli government, is completely irrelevant. I have been through many different governments in Israel. I have never seen the sentiment change because it seems like no matter what Israel does, they can never do wrong. They can never do right. Israel can never do right. So this has nothing to do with whether you are into the Israeli government or not. This is a conversation that will be left for later. Right now, what we need to know is that this is an unprecedented attack by a terrorist organization, Hamas, that have invaded Israel by land, by air, and by sea with the clear intention of slaughtering as many civilians as they possibly can. And this is what you have to understand. They didn't cross the border and attacked only soldiers. Some of them crossed the border to attack the soldiers, and hundreds of them rushed inside the country to attack towns, cities, kibbutzim, knocking door to door, grabbing people out of their beds and slaughtering them or parading them back into Gaza. There are reports of dozens and dozens of people that are in Gaza right now. The Navy, the Israeli Navy, did stop the terrorists that tried to invade by sea. So at least that. There was an attempt to invade by sea, but that was stopped by the Navy. All right, let me see what's happening here. Let me just go on my...
Also, by the way, no, we should just announce there's a question feature at the bottom.
Yeah.
So if they have a question, instead of commenting, they can push the little question mark.
Okay, do you see the question? Let's see if there are questions here. There are questions here. Yeah, there are. All right. Oh, what did Joe Biden say about the war? Joe Biden is unequivocally supporting Israel and Israel's right to defend itself. He was saying that this is a horrendous attack. He said all the right things. Biden also self-described himself when he was in Israel last year as a Zionist. So we need to remember that Joe Biden is the right type of a liberal that is actually a Zionist. And he said nothing but the right things. He said he's going to stand by Israel, and he said he's going to... the team will be giving her a call in any minute. Okay, so I'm gonna have. All right, I'm gonna have to get off the phone. Oh no, I don't need to pick this up. I can't pick this up right now. Joe Biden said anything and everything, all the good stuff, everything good that he could have said. He also said that they're going to provide Israel with whatever it needs in order to defend herself. How do you deal with social media activists so informed who are posting anti-Israel rhetoric and ignoring the atrocities? You are describing my days. Basically, this is every single day of the week. This is happening all the time, and I'm somewhat used to it. But on days like this is absolutely horrific, because there's no explaining this, there's no justifying it, and there's no other than acknowledging it for what this is, massacre. Why does Gaza still have electricity? I am not sure. How do we cope with all these anti-Israel content? Look, this is my life's work. I've been doing this for the better part of the last 15 years, trying to spread the truth about Israel, and realizing that it doesn't matter what Israel does, Israel can never do right. So this has been going on for many, many years, and to some extent, this is driven by anti-Semitism and the lack and the inability of the world to stomach Jewish self-determination and Jewish strength. So it doesn't matter what Israel does, Israel can never do right. And we've been saying for many, many years that we're not dealing with a normal doctrine here. We're not dealing with normal people here. And it's unfolding as we speak right now. Be able to take Gaza back. I don't think the right thing is to take Gaza back. Israel doesn't want what?
There's someone on there who speaks English, and her friend was at Nova and witnessed everything.
Yep. All right, let's bring it on.
Elia Sheetreat, but you also have the call soon.
Yeah, I do have the call soon, and I have to get off soon.
Oh, Eric also just requested to come back.
Oh, yeah, let's get up.
Hold on, let's get up, Eric. Elia, if you don't come up now before the call, we'll bring you up after. Okay?
Yeah, we'll bring you up after. We're going to go, hi, Eric Weinstein, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, what the fuck? Can you please explain to us, I don't know if you people know Eric Weinstein is a brilliant man and a dear friend, a mathematician and a deep thinker. Could you explain what's happening here?
No, could you? No, we're being invited to gaze into the abyss. And the key problem is that we have to be very careful about gazing into the abyss, because this is self-explanatory. This is an unprovoked assault that involves psychological warfare at the level of desecration of bodies, teaching your foe that they are implacable. There will be no solution with these people. And in some sense, you have to understand that this is when people choose to communicate, they find a language that they can communicate in, and then you have to figure out what to say back. And the great danger is what to say back.
Yeah.
So I've gone through all of the emotions this morning looking at these videos. I personally think that some form of these videos needs to be shown on American mainstream media the way we used to cover Vietnam. Mm-hmm. I personally think that the phrase "res ipsa loquitur" is extremely important. It means the thing speaks for itself.
Are you seeing the comments, Eric? Are you seeing the comments with the flags of Palestine, the Palestinian flag, and laughing? Sure. The laughing emoji with the Palestinian flag. I'm leaving them on because I want people to see them.
Go further. Right? We know that sweets are being handed out in communities all over the world, right? So we know the pattern. when a grandmother is killed, hand out sweets. It's such a counterintuitive thing that its only purpose is psychological communication. There's something called message killing.
Method killing?
Message killing, right? This
Message
is where,
killing, okay.
yeah, Luca Brasi sleeps with the fishes. The key point is that you dramatize how little you care for human life, how you don't hold your enemy in any regard, that you would desecrate the bodies, et cetera, and then you celebrate. And to be honest, we've seen this sorts of behavior sometimes on parts of Israeli. But what we don't see is we don't see broad acceptance and excuse making the way we do with the Arabs, right?
Yeah.
And in this case, because it's an unprovoked attack
on civilians,
that
and women and children,
that my
babies.
This is not the time to be arguing. This is the time to say facts speak for themselves. And one of the great dangers is that when we start to say, can't you see how horrible this is? It feels like to some that putting a thumb on the scales. And really what I really want to do, look, listen. People are trying to talk to you. If they hand out sweets, listen to them.
Yeah. I'm not entirely sure what else to say other than to give people the update of what's happening. And you're 100% right. So for me to go out there and be like, people, aren't you seeing how bad this is?
Right.
It is self-explanatory. What's happening right now is self-explanatory. And if you're not supporting Israel right now, you should look really deeply into your soul and figure out why.
The United States begins with the idea of we hold certain truths to be self-evident.
Self-evident.
Cannot describe the self-evident, because when you do that, you're lost. You're acting as if it isn't self-evident. I would also say that there's a different issue, which has to do with 1973 and the Yom Kippur War, the difference between feeling like you're on top of the world and you can't even manage your own intelligence. This calls for searching on the part of Israelis and Jews.
Huge.
That the madness that has been in internal Israeli division of late. We can't afford this. I don't know how to put it politely. And, I also want to say, thank you for getting on the horn, doing what you do,
Of course.
standing up for use. I think that you're quite wise to leave the worst comments in. And my feeling is that for those of you who are on the fence, please read the comments. Try to see who it is that's excited about a disemboweled grandmother and who is saying that, even in the face of this, I think about the number of Arab mothers who are going to be weeping over their dead children as a result of retaliation. And there's not an ounce of joy that I experience in knowing what comes next.
As opposed to what's been going on in Gaza. Have you seen the pictures of the celebrations in Gaza? They're celebrating right now in the streets. There's literally like...
Let me say something more powerful and disturbing. There's a part of me that doesn't want any loss of life in retaliation, and instead wants to say that maybe the formula needs to be, we used to talk about land for peace. Maybe what we need to do is to talk about land from terror. And that if Hamas wants to explain that we need a giant buffer zone between them and the civilian population of Israel, maybe we should be listening. Maybe what we're telling us is that there needs to be an even smaller viable area in Gaza, which, by the way, seems insane to place on Earth. And possibility of squalor seems already horrible. But what I believe is if you're telling us that we need a much bigger buffer zone between terrorists and a paramilitary sort of a rocket, maybe we should be listening. Maybe what you're really saying is that it needs to be a smaller chunk of land. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, who knows right now, but since the situation is still unfolding and there's still hostage situation in the south, they're first going to deal with that.
Well, no, I thank you for keeping us updated. I don't really know what there is to say. I do think that we have to just keep the calmest, most level heads. We know we need to not argue. that this is in question. Know that it is.
Yeah, there's
Right?
no question.
Res ipsa loquitur. Thanks
No,
for
there's
having
no
me on.
question. There's no question. Okay, Eric, thank you so much for everything that you do, and I'm gonna keep updating. I have Israeli news open right here next to me, and I'm giving updates as they happen because it's not happening in English properly. So that's what we're here for. Eric, thank you so much. See here, the Palestinian flags again. What are they trying to say? What are they trying to say? Palestinian flags. I'm not deleting negative comments just because I want you guys to see them and girls. So Palestinian flags, it's great, absolutely great. Do you think I can do the CNN call on live, like live? Do you think they'll be okay with that? Do you want to call them?
I don't. Should I call them?
I don't know. Do you want to ask them?
Be so okay with that, but I can.
I can be on the phone.
I can ask.
No,
I feel like that's a little. I don't know.
listen. I'm gonna go on CNN. Let me call them. If they're okay with me being on, putting everything together. It's okay with me being on the phone. I'm going to stay on the phone with you.
Did this do this right now?
Hi, Tim. This is Noah Tishby. How are you? I'm good. So I have a question before we start. I am speaking to you while being live on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitter. They can't hear you, but they can only hear me. Do you want me to move away? Or is it okay if I'm going to listen in to you while I do this, while I'm still on live? Great. So I'm going to get off live for a second. I'm going to do, everybody, we're going to log back in shortly.
Yeah, we'll come back. Please DM me if you want to come back on.
Yeah, DM Shani, Swissa, and we'll be back on live shortly.
Okay.
Thank you.